Hello guys, welcome to CYE. You've probably already had all of that, but welcome from me. My name is Ben. I'm wearing my CYE t-shirt. You can see this is from a camp a couple of years ago now in the summer. Oh man, what a shame that we can't be together. Really sad in lots of ways. CYE is like the thing that you look forward to, isn't it? Most of the year round. You get sort of 6 months to it, and then you're like, yeah, 6 months until CYE. Can't wait until we go there. I grew up in a town called Petersfield, not far from where CYE is. And a lot of my mates from church used to go every summer, and that's all they would talk about. And they'd have the best fun. They would learn to do sailing, and they would have a great time on the water and just have a great time with each other. And then most importantly, they would come home absolutely buzzing spiritually, absolutely just on fire, because they'd come close to God and they had heard more about him and they just loved him more as a result. So CYE is great, isn't it? And we love it. We look forward to it all year round. So sad that we're not together, but I've got some good news for us. And the good news comes in the form of a Christmas card. Now, you might think, hang on a minute, it's the middle of summer. What on earth is he doing talking about Christmas cards? But I just want you to imagine this Christmas card. It's like a dark navy blue background. There's a little picture, a little drawing of Bethlehem. There's some stars out. There's the big star above it. There's some angels blowing their trumpets. And then sort of in an arc over the whole thing is the word Emmanuel, which is a Hebrew word. And that word means God with us. God is with us. And as the angels were there blowing their trumpets, they said, we have good news of great joy for the whole world. So this is my good news of great joy to you guys, is Emmanuel. God is with us. So we're not physically together, but God is still with us. And that's going to be the theme of these talks over the next couple of days. Now, hang on a minute, you might say. Jesus did come as a baby. Yeah, I get that. He grew up and lived as a man and died on the cross and things. But then he went back to heaven. So he's not actually physically with us now. So he kind of was Emmanuel, and now it's not Emmanuel anymore. Maybe you think that. But Jesus, right before he ascended back into heaven, after he'd raised from the dead, said to his disciples, "Surely I am with you always, to the end of the age. Surely I'm with you always, to the end of the age." Now, he's obviously not physically with us because he went back up to heaven. And there, by the way, he's interceding for us. So he's praying for us. He's speaking to God on our behalf. But he is still with us in a really significant kind of way. And a story that helps illustrate this is one of my favorite stories in the Bible. It's after Jesus had died on the cross and he'd risen again 3 days later. And all the disciples are kind of a bit sort of scattered by this, and they're all a bit confused by it, and they're all taken up, and it's wondrous, and they don't really fully understand it yet. And 2 of them are on the road to Emmaus. So I think away from Jerusalem, where all the events happened, and they're on their way to Emmaus. And as they're walking to Emmaus, they're joined by a man, which is Jesus, but they don't recognize him. So for them, they just think it's a man. And it's quite funny, really. I don't know whether this was a bit tongue-in-cheek, but Jesus sort of wanders up to them and says, "Hey guys, what are you talking about?" And they're like, "What do you mean, what are we talking about? We're talking about like the biggest news ever. Have you not heard or seen, or how do you not know about what's been going on?" It's a little bit like if someone walked in right now and we're like, "Oh, hey, why is CYE on the screen? What's that about?" You'd be like, "What? Did you not know that there's a pandemic going on? You know, there's a global look that it would be crazy." And so the disciples are like, Jesus asked this question, "What are you talking about?" And they're like, "What are you talking about? Have you not heard? Jesus came and did wondrous things. He said really mysterious things, and he died on the cross. And now there are reports that he's alive again." And they're just quite excited by it, but don't really fully understand it. And Jesus says to them, "How foolish you are. You still don't get it, do you? Did you not realize that this is what I've been telling you the whole time?" They still don't recognize him, but what he does is he then gives them the Bible study to end all Bible studies. He starts with Moses and the prophets, and he goes through the whole of the Old Testament, and he explains how everything has been about him. Everything in the Old Testament, the laws that were given, he fulfilled perfectly. The temple and the way that the tabernacle was set up is all fulfilled in Jesus. The fact that you had to, like the Passover, where you had to put the blood of the lamb on the doorposts, was a picture of the cross and what he's done for us there. All of it. Imagine being there in this Bible study, listening to Jesus say, yeah, that was me. Yeah, that was about me. Yeah, that was about me. And he's painting them this picture that the whole of human history is about him and about our salvation through his death on the cross. Now, the most amazing thing about this little interaction on this walk where Jesus joins them is he could have popped out and said, hey guys, it's me, hey, and had like a bit of a party with them. But instead, what he does is he opens up the scriptures, and that is the way that he speaks to them, and he shows them who he is. And there's a really lovely detail. So they carry on walking, they do this, Jesus giving them this Bible study, and they arrive where they're going to stay that night, and they're about to have food, about to eat dinner, and Jesus breaks the bread. And as he breaks the bread, they're like, where have we seen this before? And their eyes are open and they recognize him. They're like, it's Jesus. And then he disappears. A bit random, but he disappears. And then they say, were not our hearts burning within us when he talked with us on the road and opened the scriptures to us? Were not our hearts burning within us while he talked with us on the road and opened the scriptures to us? He opens the scriptures to them and speaks to them through the scriptures, and their hearts burn within them. That is why the Bible is called the Word of God. That is why it is God breathed. It's his voice speaking. And that is why when we're at CYE, we don't actually hear a physical voice, do we? The clouds don't part, and then this booming voice comes out to say, welcome to CYE. I am God, and now I'm going to speak to you. No, but what does happen is we open up the Bible, we hear about Jesus, we sing songs to him, about him, and our hearts burn within us. And we go home and we're on fire for God, aren't we? Because it's a time we spent close to God, kind of with him, listening to his voice. So this week, as we go over these talks, what I hope we're going to do is we're going to realize that actually our hearts can burn within us whenever we hear the voice of Jesus. And we don't have to be on a boat in the water together physically for that to happen. This is why it can happen by yourself in your bedroom. This is why it can happen in your home churches. This is why it can happen in your home youth groups. It doesn't just have to happen in one special place, because God speaks to us wherever we are. Whenever we open up the scriptures, whenever we come to him in prayer, whenever we worship him in song and quiet reflection, we draw near to Emmanuel, God with us. So let's think about that and enjoy that over the next few days. Looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow.